No? Jay saying no? Test 1, 2, 3. They're saying, okay, good, perfect. All right, good morning, everybody. We ready for another great day? A little cold out there. We got a great video that, God, I don't remember if I saw it or someone sent it to me, but a couple weeks ago. Play it.
Orville and Wilbur
Yes, Corky
are
Grimes
known
sent this
as
to
the
me.
first
I'm
engineers
99%
to
sure.
successfully design, build, and operate an aircraft. A letter from Orville to Wilbur.
Can you turn it up?
The evening before they fly for the first time. Dear
Sorry,
brother,
can you start over and turn it up? I apologize. That's why I'm asking you to turn it up. He said it's very quiet. She's hitting the microphone up front, so let's see. We put this new sound system in, and it's still not right.
successfully designed. Orville and Wilbur are known as the first engineers to successfully design, build, and operate an aircraft. A letter from Orville to Wilbur, the evening before they fly for the first time. Dear brother, last week I overheard a joke. Somebody said, "What do you call two men who think they can fly?" A funeral. The whole town has become an ocean of pointed fingers. People that I once considered friends are now just a tidal wave of unsolicited advice. They are trying to rinse the color out of our dreams. Yesterday, a lady from church pulled me aside and said, if God wanted us in the sky, he would have given us wings. And I replied, isn't that what imagination is? The ability to go somewhere that others can only think of. Brother, some people who have never tried to run a mile will tell you that a marathon is too far. Some people will try to talk you out of jumping into the water simply because they have always been too scared to learn how to swim. Fear is when the brain thinks and then calls that survival. Fear is when we turn up the volume on everything that might go wrong and then give it permission to speak louder than our courage. But for those who do not worship at the altar of panic, for those who will not sacrifice their ambitions to a demigod or worst case scenarios, for those who will not give up, failure is just a short story they tell before they talk about success. And I know that it's been difficult, the miscalculations, the hours that we put in, the days that we spend away from our families, but when I walk outside, I can feel the ground getting nervous, like it knows that it can't keep us here much longer because we are destined for a higher calling. And I heard what they said. They said that it's impossible, but I say everything is until it's not. They called us stupid, but I say stupid and brave are just two sides of the same coin. The only difference is whether or not you guess correctly before the penny hits the floor. Tomorrow, we will call gravity a liar. We will kiss God on the face. Tomorrow, I will look you in the eyes and I will say, I told you the wind would feel different up here, but they think does not matter. When we are in the clouds, we won't even be able to see them. Brother, I have a joke for you. What do you call the first two men in the world who figure out how to fly? Legends. You call them legends. Get it? Thank you. The Wright brothers, or...
Thank you. How cool would that have been to be those guys? Can we get the lights back there? Sorry. Thank you, thank you. Corky sends me, is Corky in here? He sends me videos all the time, which I appreciate. I love these things. So nothing is impossible. I really, if you want to accomplish things, people can tell you it's hard and difficult, but the truth is at the end of the day, if you want to do it and make your mind up to do it, anything is possible. And so I love these type of things. So real quick, we're going to go, there you are. Home services lending first, and then I'm going to dive into some, no? Is that okay? I'm going to go home services lending first, and then I'm going to dive into some things.
From your friends is online right now.
Oh, from your friends online. I guess we're not. From our friends is, sorry, sit back down. I just trying to get some extra steps in for you today. From your friends. Okay, sorry. Shoot away. Jay, are you introducing them?
No, I think Matt. Did Matt just say
Matt, you said it? Okay, Matt, you want to introduce him? Sorry. I knew someone set him up. It wasn't me.
Well, this is Mary Beth from your friends. They do the postcards that are associated with them. They're a partner vendor of ours, and she wants to kind of talk about the service and about the partnership. So,
Thank you, Mary Beth. Please shoot away.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Beth Kelly with From Your Friends. I'm very happy to be here. I want to give a special thank you to Matt for allowing me to present today. And I'm just going to get my slideshow started for you. So hopefully it's going to work. We had it testing and working earlier. So just bear with me. Can you guys see my screen?
We see it.
Great. You said you guys are getting some cold weather there today.
A little bit. We're used to it.
I know. I'm getting cold weather here too, and I'm in Georgia, so that's very unusual for us. Again, my name is Mary Beth, and I wanted to say I'm very happy to be here. It's been a while since we've had some FaceTime with all you guys at BHHS Ambassador Real Estate. And I want to give you a quick recap today on the impact your marketing is having. And I also want to introduce our program to anyone who hasn't tried it yet. Bear with me. And my slideshow does not want to work. I apologize. Let me try this again. Here we go. I apologize. This worked earlier and it's not wanting to work now.
Do you want to walk through the program?
Yes, I apologize. Bear with
That's
me.
okay.
Almost there. Can you see my screen now?
We do.
Great. So basically, From Your Friends was started about 25 years ago. And in all that time, From Your Friends has been helping agents across the country build relationships by turning your clients and sphere of influence into friends. Each month, you're going to send out a large 6x9 postcard. And again, my files are not forwarding. Bear with me. Everything worked earlier. So basically, the reason why From Your Friends is called that is because we know that generating referrals and repeat business is the best way to get those referrals going back and forth to you and to help build your business and make it stronger every day. And you want to treat your people just more than just a transaction, but how you would like to treat your friends. You want to go out to eat dinner. You want to go enjoy nice restaurants. You want to go see local events and venues. And that's where we come into play. Each month, you're going to send out a gorgeous 6x9 postcard that features different local restaurants and has discounts to these local restaurants and venues. Is this forwarding for you guys at all?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move forward. I apologize for that. One thing, too, is staying in constant contact with your sphere. You're rewarding your sphere, and you're creating those shared experiences. And again, turning those customers into friends. Each month, we negotiate a different offer with a local restaurant or business in your area, and those postcards get sent out to your sphere. When you sign up with From Your Friends, special for you guys, that first month's mailing will be free. That is up to 100 free mail postcards, and that's going to be postage included, printing, your free personalization, and of course the offer. And that's about $115 value. One thing too, it's really important with From Your Friends is that you get to customize the back of the postcard with your message. And we have about 40 templates to choose from each month. Seasonal messages, personal messages, your education, just listed, just sold, all kinds of different ways that you can personalize your message to help you stay top of mind. One other great thing is From Your Friends has no sign-up fees and no contracts. There's no monthly minimum requirement order, and you can make unlimited changes to your account at any time, again, at no charge. And the postcards cost a little over $1 a piece. The first month's mailing that you're available to send out is going to be for Hawaiian Brothers Grill if you aren't already a subscriber. And that's going to give you a free classic plate at Hawaiian Brothers Grill. We have some other great upcoming partners throughout the year. We have Smoothie King, Sozo's Joe, Coffee House, and Early Bird, a great place for brunch. One other thing that we found that's really successful for a lot of our agents that use From Your Friends to stay top of mind is that studies show if you increase your touches using From Your Friends, that your response rate can increase by 30%. So when you create that From Your Friends subscription, one of the best ways is to get that monthly auto flow touch and set it and forget it, is no matter how busy you get, you can still get connected with your sphere by posting a picture of you holding the postcard, or you enjoying lunch at the place that the postcard is recommending. And so, or just posting something on Facebook about be on the lookout for the postcards, and again, creates more response from your sphere of influence. And again, the deadline for the next coming mailing is going to be May 15th at noon Mountain Time. And that's going to be $115 worth of free marketing. And I wanted to see if anybody had any questions. And I do apologize for my technical difficulties. Everything was working earlier, but we know how computers can go.
So what is the cost to the agents? $115 is what I'm hearing is the printing and postage for 1 month. Is that the ongoing cost for 100 people if they sent that out to? And if it's 200 people,
No,
does
sir.
it double? Okay, go ahead.
Right. There's no minimum order. So say you start off and you get your first month's free, and that's up to 100 mailed postcards.
Yep.
And so basically, if you don't want to mail 100 every month, you would just knock your database down to what's comfortable for your budget, because we really understand that marketing budgets right now are very stretched in today's market. So that's why we created no minimum. We
Okay.
used to have minimums, and we don't have that anymore. So if you want to send out 10 postcards at $1.20 a piece, that's all it's going to cost.
Okay,
Just
that's the cost.
of
The cost is $1.20 for postage and postcard to print and mail them.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything out the door.
So it doesn't matter if it's 50 or 250.
Well, actually, you do get price deductions when you get higher in your volume. So if you go up to over 250, and let me just go get my pricing sheet up here real quick.
Who's using them in the room? Good, so we'll have a couple of you maybe talk about.
We have about 40 people that use them on and off. I think there's a lot of people that will use them for a month and then take a break, depending on the offering.
Okay.
But on average, I see some people as low as 15 or 25 mailings a month, and then some have over 100.
Okay.
Are the vendors local? Yeah,
They're all local restaurants and things like that, right?
Yes, sir. We love recommendations from our agents as well. If you have recommendations for places you'd like to recommend, we would certainly look into that. If you order between 1 and 49 postcards, the mailing per postcard is $1.20 each. If you go above 50 to 249 postcards, the mailing is $1.15 a piece
Okay, thank you.
per postcard.
Any questions? Go ahead, Jay.
And then up in marketing, there's examples from probably the last 12 months of postcards.
Okay.
If you want to see what they are, what vendors, but they've always been local.
Jay said in the back, out in marketing, there's examples of like the last 12 months of postcards. Anybody else got a question or a comment? I'm here.
Could we order 50 and get 10 to pass out, or?
Yes, we have the unmailed postcards. Excuse me. Those are 85 cents a piece, and you can order those in conjunction with your mailed postcards. They're great for handing out at open houses and listing appointments.
Great question. Great question. Julie, do you have one come with Chris Beaton, drink for free? Your numbers of people coming or your number of profit? All right, thank you for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, guys. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
Perfect. Jason, now you come on up. I apologize for taking us out of order. So, I mean, again, it's like what we've heard Reminder Media and other people say is the more frequently you're staying in contact with somebody, giving them something of value, the more likely you are to be top of mind for when it comes time for them to buy or sell real estate, for them to give you a call. So that's just what these tools are, right? You're giving out buy a dinner, get one free, or something like that every time, but just about keeping you on top of mind for these people. So, Jason, shoot away. Tell us what's going on with interest rates in your world.
Yeah, so interest rates are improving a little bit from where we were at last time I was here. This isn't moving. Could you?
We're having a lot of tech problems here today,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Anyway, there would be a really cool graph with a green line that went like this. Oh, there it is. Look. And look, I improved my my arrows from last time too. I used AI. So for those of you that, thank you. I appreciate that. Claude, if anybody wants to know. Anyway, so we've gotten a little bit better here, Vince. Like we talked about before, we were touching 6.5%, and we're right now around 6.25%. So so that's an improvement. It's still not exactly where we want to go ahead and be, where we thought we were, but we are having a lot of success with our one-year buy-down program. I just want to reiterate that one more time. We've been talking about it an awful lot. This has been extended to FHA, VA, and conventional loans. It's where we're going to pick up a 1% discount that first year off the interest rate for the customer, and it gets them up and over the hump. So if they were really looking for something in the fives, we can certainly get them into the fives right now, so that's exciting.
So, Jason, what I see based on your last graph is now that'd be 6, because I think this is what you had last time.
This is
so now 6.25. They would get
6.25,
5.25,
5.25, right?
Yeah.
In fact, we're working a deal right now, Vince. That's $599 on a VA, $499 that first year. So
Okay.
they're getting a heck of a deal on that. So really popular. Really great way to get some people off the fence, right? If we've got some fence sitters, and I think we do right now in the marketplace. Also, a couple weeks ago, right here in this room, we did a fantastic lunch and learn, thanks to those who were able to go ahead and attend. And we talked about programs that were a little outside of the box, right? So we talked about our portfolio products that we have that are available for us. Not many banks and credit unions have these products, and even fewer of them actually use it because they think it's a little bit complicated. I'm not going to go through each one right now. But if you're ever working with maybe a next gen buyer who might be delivering Uber Eats on the side and doing this and doing that, and so cobbling together a pretty good income, but it's really, really tough to get them qualified for a traditional mortgage. Some of these products are actually very, very good, for solutions for that sort of a thing. There's a great loan out there, Portfolio Builder Loan, DSCR, for people that want to get into investment properties and that sort of thing, and just have a difficult time traditionally qualifying. And then, of course, the entrepreneur loan. I'm talking to a whole room of entrepreneurs. These are for people that, you take advantage of the tax code, so your taxes aren't going to show your real income necessarily, and it's a little bit tougher to qualify. We'll use bank statement programs to go ahead and do that. We have a whole library of these products and these solutions, and they're working, and we're closing these at a pretty rapid rate. This is the largest segment, the biggest growth segment in the mortgage market right now. We don't want you to miss out on it. And so if you are having trouble somewhere else, we don't mind being a second opinion lender. Come bring it to us. Let us go ahead and work through it, see if we can find a solution using some of these products right here. And just one more quick reminder before we go ahead and move on with the meeting. We do have our Competitive Edge product. That's where we actually pre-underwrite the loan, provide a $30,000 on-time closing guarantee for people that are not necessarily in a huge hurry and they want to go ahead and have that peace of mind done. That's a fantastic product. We are the home of the free VA appraisal, so we do not charge our veterans appraisal fees, so that's about a $700 benefit to the customer. Buy before you sell, bridge loans, all right? So getting people positioned to go ahead and do that, take a lot of the angst and stress out of the moving process. If you can get them to be able to buy their new home before they sell their old one, makes your listing easier too. And then we talked about the temporary buy down. Your team's up here. I lead the team, close thousands of loans every year. We've got the experience, the know-how, and we're looking forward to getting to know you better and talking a little bit more about these products. Look for NYFA, Nebraska Finance Authority. We're going to have them here next month. I got to nail down the date and everything, but we're going to have a 1-hour session on that fantastic program, and great way to get people in for zero down. First-time home buyers mostly, but not limited to that. So look for that out there. I'll buy you lunch, and we'll learn about NYFA together.
Jason, for clarity,
Yes,
when they
sir.
do that 1% buy down, the 6.25 to 5.25 or VA,
Yep.
599 to 499. When they go to refinance that, the
Right.
only refinance cost is the title insurance. Walk through what's the refinance cost?
Yeah,
for
so
them
the
to
refinance cost, it kind of depends on the loan product. So lots of times there's no appraisal fee, title work, right? We need to redo the title work, title insurance, and all that fun stuff. If we take them through our competitive edge process, which we try to couple it with, we actually waive our flat fee origination fee, which is the
That's what I was
biggest
thinking.
fee.
Okay.
Yeah, involved with that. So it's a really good point. If we think rates are going to fall in the future, and they very well might, just a great way for people to take advantage of a lower rate right now. We'll refinance them in a few months, maybe the first part of next year when rates are in line, and they're off to the races.
For most
right?
programs, you don't have the origination fee, just your title, some minimal fees.
You got it.
Perfect. All right.
You got it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Give them a hand. Did we put these on everyone's chairs? The quarterly reports? So you got the quarterly reports for individuals out there and for teams, so congratulations, guys. As I said a couple weeks ago, for a quick market update, is when we started the year, I was really, really crazy optimistic, right? Interest rates were sitting at 6%, a little bit below that. Our first 2 months, and if you've heard me say this to Mastermind before, I apologize, but our first 2 months for new, and I tracked every day new pending transactions. I don't look at closed transactions because it doesn't mean it could be a new construction from a year and a half ago. I mean, closed transactions is yesterday business. I want to know how you guys are doing and what your cash flow is going to be moving forward, right? So for January and February, our first 2 months of new pending transactions was the best 2-month time frame we've ever had in the history of our company. Now, I kept going back because we have these charts that go back forever. And I looked at January and February of 21 and January and February of 22 because I was shocked. I'm like, there's no way we outperformed the number of units sold. And I'm talking units, not sales volume, because obviously house prices have went up. Our number of units sold in those 2 months. And by 10 and by 15, we had outdone that. So the start of this year was crazy on fire. You guys were lighting it up. And it was till about that second week of March, right, that you started to see gas prices go up, that you started seeing interest rates go up, you started seeing volatility in the stock market, we started to see a slowdown. Now, it seems like we're getting some stability back in here, but it seems to me like I've heard so many people, I can't tell you how many people I've heard over the last month say, oh my God, I went and filled up my gas tank today. And I think it's that subliminal message, right, of what's going on in the economy in their head that does. Now, we're still in the lower ends having very active, multiple offer situations, but it wasn't to the extent that we saw a month or so ago. So I do feel like it's picking back up. It would be really, really good if we could get the war done here and get these interest rates back down to 6% or below. But I'm cautiously optimistic about what's going on for the balance of the year here. So I hope you guys feel good about that. I was out, Kelsey was out there with me. Shannon and Lucy Lou was out, but I was out in California this time last week having meetings with 26, I believe, of our largest brokers in the network that are the independent brokers. And I'm going to do the same thing in July. And they were fairly long days. And the first, Kelsey, tell me if I get any of this wrong because you were sitting there. The first hour and a half, 2 hours, I said, we're here to grow together, to figure out how we change our image, to figure out how we give our agents more tools for them to be more visible, to attract more clients. This has got to be a win-win situation. That when the agent wins, the broker wins, and the network wins, and together we can get there. And so I asked them, what do they want to accomplish on these next 2 days? And I asked them what they felt the image of the network was. And I was getting a lot of, well, we're older, and we're this, and we've not been aggressive in this. And so I felt like I was dodging a whole bunch of bullets there for a period of time. But I felt at the end of the day, it was a very good thing, because I said, I want to be open-minded enough for us to have debates about what you believe is best and what we believe is best to help the agents in the network continue to move forward. And so when we were done, we had a whole whiteboard of things that we thought we were doing really, really well. And one of the things that was amazing to me, and here's one of the things that happened, is the biggest brokers were allowed to bring out their number 2 or their number 3 person. And that was really, really, really more brilliant than I even knew it was going to be. Because what happened is the best information in this 2 days meetings came from those people that were more engaged with the agents and what was going on in the marketplace than the broker who's setting off in their corporate office that's not interacting. A lot of these guys are in offices that are not interacting with agents at all. So they were out of touch. But a guy out of Utah brought up a program for a market analysis that was just off the charts crazy cool that I've told him to already send how he set that thing up to Berkshire Hathaway's tech guy to try to get out to everybody. And so it was, and I had Greg Miller, who's running Steve Face's company. Steve didn't know anything was going on, and Greg is talking about, no, you need to do this, and you need to do this, and you need to do this. And it was amazing to me getting those ideas. So, because I've told the brokers, we're not going to just have meetings with you as brokers, because I feel like you're out of touch sometimes with what agents and the market's doing. I need the people in the trenches. I need you guys, the top producing agents, to be giving us advice. And we're setting up this month a marketing forum of a handful of top social media marketing people with some marketing directors to get together with us. I don't even know if there's going to be any owners in that meeting to talk about what do we do to continue to change what we're doing in the marketplace. But what came out of there is there was people there that had no idea that we had this concierge service where you literally, for any of our tools, Jay, tell me if I get this wrong, you call in, and there's a team of 15 people that set out in Irvine that answer your calls for for Sochi, for an e-card, for any program, for a Zillow Showcase, for Zillow Preview that we're kicking off, for the new 1,000 watts. And you can ask them, and they answer a phone. AI is never interacting, even when you have the ability to message with them. That's always a human that's messaging with them. And they're saying about 50% of those messages, actually they say, let's pick up a call, I don't want any miscommunications. So it's always a human person answering, and the call is answered on average like in 4 or 5 seconds. It's less than 10 seconds. So then the people that in the room, again, it was never the owners, it was the other people saying, yeah, our people use that, they love that. So I said, let's start figuring out what are the assets we have that we need to lean into. Is that what that was? Thank you. I forgot you told me you were going to put that graph together. Speak up. So this talks about the tiers of support that the customer, that's what it's called, customer success team has. And here's what it comes in, like 18% is marketing resource, 17% is resource center, Chalk Digital is 8.5%, BHHS Connect is 27%, others 29%. So again, you can email it, you can chat with the human, you can phone talk on phone with the human. So this is there, guys. Use this situation, okay? Because so much of what goes on in this world, I was just yesterday on a call with AI, and I'm like, can I talk to a human? It makes me crazy. So we're spending money for the human resources for us to be there to support you. When we were done, and then I'm gonna jump in with you, Jay, here on MLS changes with Zillow Preview. I said, it makes sense to me, and I think there was a consensus in the room, and we want to continue to have this conversation, is let's lean into the best assets that we have when it comes to Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Berkshire Hathaway Network. We are selling a very large asset, the largest asset to many people that they have. It's a highly emotional transaction that takes place, right? So this is not, we're selling some little item that they buy all the time. It's a transaction that takes place now every 13 years in this country. And so what are those things that we can lean into, right? Well, financial stability, trust, integrity, that for the largest asset in your life that you're purchasing, you can trust us. You can count on us getting you to the finish line. So let's lean into that aspect of Berkshire Hathaway. I said, this is just me talking even as someone from Omaha. I'm like, let's not lean into 93-year-old Warren Buffett, right? Because we look like we're only for older people to some people. That's the perception in the marketplace for some people, guys. Right, wrong, or difference. That's just true. We have the Rethink Council meetings, and we talk about these type of things, okay? So what are we going to do? So what are we trying to do over here is 1,000 watt, which we've kicked off, which I believe is the best. I think most people in the industry would tell you. They've done stuff for Inman, California Department of Real Estate, across the board. All these huge corporations have hired these guys. They are marketing geniuses, in my opinion, especially Mark Davison. They do surveys every quarter, and we're going to have the ability to see all those surveys. And they're like, why do we do surveys every quarter? They're like, because what happens is the vast majority, and I talked about this earlier, of you are doing self-promotion. And we need to understand that the sentiment of a buyer and seller today is not going to be the exact same of what the sentiment of a buyer and seller is going to be a year or two from now. So we have to continue to survey them to find out what's important to them. How do they feel about services, and how do they feel about different things going on in the economy? And then they go and weekly will send out to us, based on what they're finding in their survey results, marketing pieces to help us go and connect with these people. And so when Mark gave his first speech in 2 years, which is kind of what spurred this whole thing on, in Laguna Beach, he started getting an outpour of agents reaching out to him, and it tripped something in him that he really got him excited again about what was going on in the real estate world. And he says, it's been cool to watch all these people think differently in how they're marketing, and I'm seeing their marketing pieces, and they're saying the response I'm getting from my clients is so much better than it was before. And what part of this image that I want is I want us to lean into this marketing thing that's going on with these guys. I've told our marketing department at corporate in Irvine, I want our marketing department here in Omaha to start looking at what he's doing, and let's start saying things. He has a lot of humor in there. And he talks about stop just doing the front post picture of a house and these other things. Find out what's crazy interesting there. And it may be some badass closet. And put a picture of that and poke fun at it. And he puts humor in there. He says, you know, one that I love, and he has lots of them like this, is like, you know, we did one of our surveys and got the sentiment of some of these people, and we'll have the ability to look in to them interviewing like 20 people and what those people's interactions are, just not the results of what they say. And they said, you know, what's one of the best things about owning your new home? And the lady said, and there's a picture of a client on there, get off my lawn, right? So it's about, let's start poking some fun and have some of our marketing be laugh so we can remember it. And then the other thing that I've done is we start filming next week. We signed with Agent First Sports Agency. I think I got a first agent. I'm not sure which it is. A sports agency that represents pro athletes, one pro woman athlete that plays flag football, and 4 NFL players, one of them being Bryce Young, who's an all-pro linebacker for the Rams. One of them being a guy that got drafted at the very beginning of the second round, T.J. Parker, and a couple other people. And they're going to do videos for us, and we're going to have the ability as a brokerage to send those out on social media, on YouTube, wherever we want. And you guys as agents will be able to take these. And the cool thing about this, because I keep saying let's think different, is they're like, all we've ever done in the past, we are the first organization to tell them we want to take the marketing pieces that you put together and send them out through social media and through YouTube and through other things. We can't put it on, we can't do network TVs or things like that, which we couldn't afford to do anyway, so it doesn't matter. That was the easy part of the conversation. And so they're giving us a better price because we're now actually promoting their athletes also. And they're like, a lot of these athletes coming out of, as rookies or younger people, they need to get these promotional films out there so we can help continue to promote these guys so they can make a living outside of football or whatever they're doing, but mainly doing football players. I also had a meeting, Kelsey and I went to lunch with one of my good friends, Mike Stick, and I played softball together for 20 years after college. And one of his kids plays in the NFL, Easton Stick. And the other one was Aaron, who I've not seen for like 10 years. And he reminded me that we used to play jungle basketball when he was a little kid in my pool and almost drowned each other. I said I couldn't do that today. I would walk out there, I'd have scratches on me and bruises and everything the days later. But they represented Fernando, who was the #1 draft pick. They represent a guy called Tiger Woods. I don't know if you've heard of him before. Caitlin Clark. This is 2 of the largest sports agencies in the world. They want to do something. They're like, I'm jealous that you did this other deal. He says, I'm positive it's going to work out spectacular for you. We would like to talk about doing a deal with you. So the first deal was only a 1-year deal that we get to promote theirs. So my point at the end of this whole thing is we've created a partnership with 1000 Watts. Crazy, crazy, creative marketing people that we want to tie in to start changing our image. And we want you guys to do this. And what Mark said is don't take what he does and copy and paste it. If we have 5,000 people in the network start copy and paste, take what he does and use parts of it and then personalize it to you because that's going to be much more powerful. So we're changing our marketing. We want to be funnier. I said, let's take the Berkshire Hathaway integrity, trust, financial stability, and strengths that we have, and let's start becoming what we were as a network 25 years ago. Let's be the place that young people, top producers, teams, everyone's like, that's cool, innovative, forward-thinking. That's an organization that I want to be part of. I remind you guys, my friends Seth Madison and David Ellison did a survey in 2020 of 56 traits that all human behavior is based on. And the #1 trait for Americans is belonging. I know most of you heard me say this time after time. Belonging. People want to be part of something bigger than themselves, right? Belonging, connection, community, relationships, and family. They call that the togetherness cluster. Let's start creating an image over here of attracting people. That's one of the reasons I'm so adamant about you doing client appreciation parties, is have people say they're part of your tribe. So we're going to try to use these pro athletes, which maybe has some cool hip image different than Warren Buffett at 90-some, saying, I would like to be part of that. Let's start drawing attention to ourselves. And I want you guys to piggyback up on the things that we put out, that the network does, and we as a brokerage does, and use those in your own social media and marketing. And I think that laughter, it's going to draw attention to us if we can be funny and we can attract other people, and they're like, wow, these guys are connected to these type of guys. Now, we're not going to get Tiger Woods or Fernando because they're probably too expensive, but I want to change our image. And so that's what we're looking at. Now, this world of real estate is getting crazy. We thought things were going crazy in real estate when the lawsuit was going on. And by the way, we just settled, I think that's since our last sales meeting, wasn't it? The buyer side lawsuit for $30 million, subject to all the challenges we have coming in. And here's the great thing I just found out yesterday morning. There was a number of seller lawsuits which we're out of, and once we settled that, the court said no other seller lawsuits could sue us. On this $30 million, right, but that was $250 million for that. This $30 million, same settlement says is no other buyer lawsuits can sue us. One of the buyer lawsuits, who was one of the attorneys for the seller lawsuit that we lost to, that's over here in Florida, because we're trying to settle over here in Chicago. He's suing the Florida attorneys are suing the Chicago attorneys, saying that you're screwing me out of fees because you're selling the lawsuits over here versus letting them settle the lawsuits over there. So nothing does my heart any more good than to see attorneys suing attorneys arguing over, because by the way, they're the only ones winning in this whole thing. They're getting 35% of these fees. They're getting like $400 million out of the seller lawsuit, and God knows what they're going to get out of the buyer. I mean, so let them fight with each other a little bit. But now we saw Compass Buy Anywhere, and tons of changes are going on there. And one of the reasons we have Zillow Preview was prompted by Compass and Anywhere brands going out and cutting a deal with Redfin to have all of their pre-listing things to be exposed there. And then we cut the deal, and I'll let Jay talk about this in a minute, with Zillow, and so did RE/MAX, which is going to be interesting because RE/MAX just got bought this week by Real. And they claim RE/MAX is going to continue to be, which is going to be interesting because that's now we bought brick and mortar RE/MAX with Real virtual offices. They're claiming they're going to run two different brands there, but we'll see what happens. We've already seen tons of executives and leadership get fired and let go out of the Anywhere brands. And that's typically what happens when you have mergers. They have to have economies of scale to make the numbers work, right? This is $880 million, plus they took on $450 million of debt. Real lost $9 million last year. So now they're going to be servicing debt they didn't. Now, RE/MAX made like $91 million last year. But they've got $880 million. So now you got $450 million of debt service. So this world's changing. So we've got to keep up all these changes, because what I see is there's less and less brokerages to work for. We need to make sure that we are, I've said this time after time, you as agents and we as a brokerage and a network, we all need each other. We need each other to figure out what's going on as things change. We need each other to ideas share with. We need each other to make sure that if we're strong and you're strong, together, you need us to stay in business because you need someone to help protect you and keep you up to date on things. We need you guys. We can't stay in business unless you guys are selling houses. We're not going to get rich on any one person. We just need, it's a numbers game for everybody. So I'm trying to, that's the crazy part of what's going on with this job at Berkshire Hathaway Corporate is this thing is changing so fast. But I told everybody in that room, and I've told this story to all of you guys 100 times, so just bear with me. As I said in so many of these owners' meetings, and I used to tell Gino all the time, I'd get so crazy with him about this. He would always get on there and say, well, Compass is going to go broke because they're losing money. And Real's going to go broke because they're losing money. And I'm like, oh my God. I said, we get on a meeting, I come off an hour and a half later, and all I've listened to is some stupid bullshit. I'm like, agents are going there. Whether they go broke or not go broke, who gives a shit? Let's figure out what they're doing well that's attracting agents. Let's figure out what they're doing bad and make sure we're not doing that. But let's stop talking about the negative. Something that stuck in my mind for the last 16 years is when I went to Google for the second time in New York City. And I've told this story. RE/MAX was there with 4 or 5 people. I was there with Prudential. We had another 3 people with us. Caldwell Banker, Century 21, Keller Williams. There was a whole, and we all signed confidentiality agreements. And one of the heads of departments of Google got up and says, everyone thinks we hate Apple. We're like, we don't hate Apple. We have the greatest respect for Apple. Because of competition like Apple, we will never become complacent. Competition like that forces us to continue to look at what we're doing to make sure that we're continuing to do what we can to stay ahead of the curve. So I see competition different than a lot of these other CEOs do. They see it as a bad thing. I see it as, let's figure out what they're doing. If there's things they're doing better than us, then let's try to embrace some of those things. Let's figure out, because there's things they're doing that are not great too, right? Because a lot of them aren't making money. The brokerage business and the network business, most of these guys aren't making money. Let's try to avoid going broke. But let's not worry about whether they're going broke or not. And I used to tell Brian Thomas all the time, I'm like, I don't care if CBS and Dodge, because they were much bigger than us when I started this thing in the early 2000s, is making tons of money or losing tons of money. It doesn't matter to me. What we need to do is focus on us and our agents and how do we help ourselves grow to the next level. And what everyone else is doing, we can't worry about, but let's pay attention to what they're doing so our head's not in the sand and we can understand what we need to best do. So philosophically, that's where we're trying to head as a network. That's where I want us to continue to be as an organization. We have got to change and be forward-looking. So that's what I want our image to be, is the future. How do we change to get there? And it's going to take a lot of things. It's not going to be one little thing. We're going to have to continue to do other things. We've got to change and increase all of our tools. I had 3 meetings, one with Maxa, which is kind of a Canva-like company. Canva and RockLogic is currently who runs our e-cards and our whole marketing resource center right now. And here's the great news. No matter what solution we go to, I was kind of hell-bent on getting with Canva, but I've had 15 meetings with Canva, a lot. And we keep running into roadblocks. They can't do our e-cards. They can't do this. They can't do that. I'm like, it doesn't matter how great you are in this one component of this. I need someone to tie all these things together. RockLogic, because they knew we were talking to Canva Max, it came in to 3 owners last week, and we had a meeting that was crazy with them. And they are improving the e-cards where you're going to have completely different formats. You can move things around. Whatever we land on in the next, and so I'm running through, I want to test all these things. So we've got people out there testing in Irvine right now their new format. But whatever happens, our resource center is going to improve tremendously from where it was in the past. So I know we're making good progress on some of these tools we have. And what I don't want to do is, I said, I don't want to go tie us up in 5, 10-year contracts with other partners because things are changing too fast. And what is great technology today, think about this. Remember, all the CRM systems over the last 15, 20 years, this is the best. Well, then this is the best, and then this is the best. I mean, it changes. So let's not tie ourselves into one person long-term on what we're doing. Questions about any of that? I've rambled, and you guys are probably saying, Jesus Christ, end this meeting, get me out of here. But any questions about what we're doing? Does it make sense of the strategy is let's change our image, let's be forward-thinking, let's poke a little fun at ourselves, let's associate ourselves with people that draw attention to us. We've got to continue to look forward. So those days are long. What are they, 7 in the morning till 9 at night is, I'm exhausted when I'm done. But I felt really, really good when we left there that everybody is on the same team and they want to work together and we're all trying to share what they're doing best as brokerages with each other so we can help the network and help each other as brokerages. With that, I would like you to real quick talk real fast again. We showed May last time, but Maestro, yes. Maestro is coming out, and then OnePoint is also going to be coming out later this year. Can you talk about those just real briefly, which again is a continuation of what improvements we're making to technology?
Okay, well, I'll start with, well, that's like...
I'm Jay Brown.
Yep. Broker exclusives, that came out about a week and a half ago, so there's a new website for that. So again, if you've ever not been on, if you go to bhhsamb.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom, it says Agent Access. It's going to get to your website that's called intranet.bhhsamb.com. When you get logged into that, if you have any trouble, just go to tech.support@bhhsamb.com. They'll help you get logged in. But once you get there, on that dashboard, there'll be a tile that says Broker Exclusives, and it's going to take you through that new environment. When you click Share, it's going to give you like Facebook and all the different things. Please do not click on that. We can't get it taken away. But if you share that out to the public, that's going to force that broker exclusive to go live, and we don't want that. You can click on the shareable link or the email link, share that to your client. The one question I've gotten the most is, hey, it's making them register. Yes, the system's locked down. So when your client gets it, they'll register and you'll get an email that they signed in as a lead under Reliance. And then they can view it. But there have been a couple instances, just with a couple agents, that it didn't let their clients register, or there was some kind of problem. So we already have Reliance working on that. So if you have that, let me know so I can give them more examples. But otherwise, I've had nothing but people very happy with the broker exclusives.
The search is 10 times better than it was.
Correct. Yep. And the nice thing too that we haven't even mentioned, as we get pendings and sold in there over the time, we're going to keep all those solds in there. So you're going to actually be able to go in and look at sold broker exclusives as history when you're doing comparables. So.
Real fast on May, but then also the new MLS rules and the changes we're doing to Zillow Preview.
So I'll just go Zillow Preview.
Why don't you just do that, Jay?
All right. Zillow Preview, Vince talked about this. We had an MLS board meeting last week. It was decided that we were going to go ahead and syndicate all the coming soons and no-show out to Zillow, or some other people are using Realtor.com and other portals. The process, so they don't move quickly there. So hopefully this week we're going to get a list of things that we need to agree upon, and then have a special session to agree about on those items. The thing that's going to take the longest is Paragon, the provider, to put those things in place. So we may be 3 to 4 months. Hopefully we can push it and get that expedited for that to syndicate. But what we can do now, and we'll get the directions out, and I'll put it on A&B Agent Tools, is that you're going to be able to manually add those to Zillow yourself through the workspace. So if you want to do preview, if that's something that your client wants to do, you're going to be able to then just manually add those coming soons and no-shows. And so we'll give you the directions. And then the one thing though that I
explain
heard
to them why they want to do preview, right? Right. One is coming soon now is no-show status, and it'll continue to be a no-show status moving forward. Number two is, for the first time in the history of Zillow, it's not them collecting fees, they are literally paying a fee back to you. Zillow gets 235 million unique visitors per month on average. Triple the next closest real estate portal for residential things. You're getting additional exposure for your seller, right? You have a yard sign in a coming soon, you can put it on social media, but that traffic is not 98, 99% of people go on to real estate portals, none more than Zillow. So you're increasing your exposure for your sellers, so when it does become a day to show it, instead of having 2 or 3 showings day one, hopefully you have 8 or 10 showings day one because of that extra exposure that you've got the seller. Number two, and the lawsuits, what I did not realize until the last month, is coming out of all these lawsuits, we have now got to disclose anytime we're collecting referral fees. Now we have our affiliated business arrangements because we have mortgage and title, stuff like that. We're having our attorneys draw something to put the Zillow thing in there also, so that would just say that we may collect referral fees on something. Zillow wanted us initially, and we had to have a little debate with them, to say Zillow may be paying us a referral fee if somebody comes into their portal about this and how much. I'm like, there's no way we're doing that. I said, if I'm the consumer, then they're going to beat us up on commission. I don't want that to go in there. So we're going to get something that's going to bury it with everything else, but it will show that there's a possibility that we can get a referral fee. Usually I like to not record meetings. I don't like attorneys in the room. When I was at convention, one attorney was following me from one meeting to the next. I'm like, well, David, why the hell are you following me around? He says, to make sure you don't say anything stupid. I'm like, well, if you're not in the room, you won't know if I'm saying anything stupid. So just want you to leave the room. Berkshire Hathaway has lots of attorneys, let me tell you that. Holy cow. What the hell was I saying, Jay?
I don't know.
Say what? The affiliated business disclosure. Yeah, so we're going to get that done. But here's the more important part is, for the first time ever, if they come in during that preview period, which we think MLS will probably land on 21 days, I'm just basing it on a Bright MLS, the largest MLS on the East Coast in the country, has a 21-day period saying our coming soon is going to be 21 days, then they need to go active. So we need to talk that through. You need to probably be a broker. If you're thinking you do it more than 21 days, be a broker exclusive, then maybe switch over there, because you're going to be forced to go to active after a certain number of days, which the MLS is saying they're going to put some time limit on it. We just don't know what it is. Fair? Okay. But if they come into that portal, that if we go in and today you put a coming soon on and you manually put it in, and somebody comes into Zillow, they're going to have 2 options just like Zillow Showcase. Contact you as the agent, and it'll come in as an email, like from showing time from their listing service. just like, right? So there's that opportunity for you to get contact now that you do not have. And number two is, if they go in, it's going to go to Zillow Flex, which I think is now called Zillow Premier. Is that what it's called?
Correct. Yep.
They changed their Flex to Premier, which is where they're getting 35 to 40% referral fees. And basically, they're going to take, let's just assume they're getting 40% because that's what they get most often. They're taking now that 40% they're getting from the Flex agent, and they're not charging them anymore, 10%, and send that back. So they're going to keep 30% versus 40% on a deal that they're collecting 40% on. So you're going to, and it doesn't matter if they buy your house or someone else's house. If they buy a house and close on it within 90 days, you're going to get a 10% referral fee. So that's just found money. So what I went back to the network is I said, we're not going to charge a royalty fee on any of these Zillow preview referral checks that come in. So that 10%, it doesn't matter if you're a conventional agent or 100%, the whole 10% is going to you with no royalty fee. So there's no company dollar because we're giving the entire 10% to them. Yeah. So that entire 10, so if you have a $10,000 check come in as the commission to the buyer's agent, 10% of that is $1,000. You're going to get a check for $1,000. There's not a royalty fee taken out of there. There's not a company dollar taken out of there. That's going directly to you. Now, are we going to get a lot of these? Probably not. But the bottom line is you got a chance to get something now that you don't have before. And that's why I told the network, I'm like, they're like, why are we not charging this? I'm like, because I'm trying to gain momentum, and we're trying to change some things here. And I'm like, this is above and beyond the listing side commission, so why do we care? This is money we never had before. Let's let the agent have the advantage of this. So that referral fee is going to come in. You're going to get increased exposure for your seller. Again, why is Zillow doing this? Because they're in a war with Compass and Redfin and these other guys. And so everybody's positioned themselves, and we got to figure out who to partner with and who not to partner with, because none of us by ourselves, that's what we've concluded out of this whole thing, right? Why are all these huge companies partnering with each other? Because none of us by ourselves have the ability to move the needle enough. So we have to continue to have partnerships in this.
Wait, I might have missed it. Is it only Berkshire Hathaway is doing this?
So that's, I was going to say that. So they did come to Berkshire Hathaway, Remax, and Keller Williams, and some United or some other company, I don't know, that's a regional company. And so they're all getting that referral feedback. They will open it up to anybody that does not have an agreement with another portal. So Better Homes and Gardens will not be able to use Zillow because Better Homes and Garden falls under the Compass umbrella now that's having to deal with Redfin.
So who locally will
So they can open it up to Nebraska Realty or ABC, but they're not going to get a referral fee.
Okay, but they could
So I would not run around and be telling other, because what we don't want is the agent from the other company saying, well, they may get a referral fee from that.
But their coming soons will be on Zillow.
They're coming
Better Homes and Gardens will not.
Yes, the coming soons will be universal for anybody.
Correct.
And Better Homes and Gardens will do it, but their partnership will be with Redfin.
I was not IDX feeding them out yet, but they are allowing us to do the preview of it.
They'll let us do the preview if we manually put it in ourselves. Yeah.
Correct. And if you didn't hear, that's for Iowa also, outside of Nebraska. Todd?
And I think legally everyone has to allow us to manually put them in. The problem is some people have rules, and Omaha had a rule until a week ago that said if you publicly preview this, then it's got to get turned into the MLS and be active within 48 hours. Because of the rule change and the time to get it set up, they're basically throwing that out the window right now, is my understanding.
Yep, correct.
Yeah. Yes.
So if the coming soon lead gets clicked on, is that going to the listing agent or the Flex agent?
One or the other. So that's your two options. If they say contact listing agent, it's going to be an email coming into you, exactly like Zillow Showcase does through Showing Time, right? Do not think it's spam. Open that up. That's a real buyer. And there's no fee. There's no fee to be part of the program. There's no fee if the lead goes to you. If they don't click that and they click schedule a showing, it's going to go to the Flex, which is now called Premier Agent, who's going to pay the referral fee. And it doesn't matter if Zillow gets 35 or 40 or 45% from that Flex agent. It doesn't matter. We're going to get 10% of that buyer side commission. So it's going to go to one or the other. It's going to go to you, the listing agent, through an email, or it's going to go to the Flex Premier agent to set up a schedule. But here's the part that you got to remember. Yes, it's only for 90 days, but it's if they sell your house or if they sell any house in the market.
No reason not to do it then, right?
There's no reason not to do it. Your seller's getting 235 million unique visitors, eyeballs exposure for that 3-week period or whatever it is they didn't get before. So they're getting increased exposure. I believe our number one job, or at least one of our main jobs as a listing agent, is to create interest and activity, to make as many people humanly possible aware of that property, right? It's a numbers game. The more people we draw to a property, the greater chance they have of getting that house sold for more money and sooner. You only get 3 questions.
So when you say we shouldn't get a lot of these, I'm looking at the other side. Shouldn't we get a lot of them?
Well,
Because
I'm
if
saying-
Adam's converting them for us, all these flex people, we should all be getting paid.
Well, I'm just saying because we got a 90-day window. So my point is, how many are going to come in? I don't know. And will they get done within 90 days? So I don't want to set an expectation. Every time that you do this, you're going to get a referral fee. But what I'm saying is you're getting nothing right now. We're increasing our exposure for the seller, and you may get something that you didn't get before. So I don't see anything bad that comes out. And so every time one of these brokers call me around the country, and it's a 2-year agreement, they're like, what if something's better in a year? I'm like, okay, you've married yourself for 2 years. I said, is anybody going to catch Zillow in the next 2 years? I highly doubt it. I mean, you got to take educated risk in these things. Yes.
So is this program started already?
It's now started. So yeah, MLS last week.
Yeah, we
basically
voted
changed
on
their rules.
Yeah, we're going to vote on it, but that took away that 48-hour rule that Vince was just talking about. So, the thing though, to do it now, it's not syndicated through the MLS, so you'll have to manually add those into Zillow.
Yes.
Does it, this is very loud, does it mean that when you, if you set up a search for a client in Paragon, are we allowed to include coming soons now? Because normally if you add a coming soon, it doesn't even let you save that search.
Correct. Those are the rules. That's what's going to take the
Okay, but they're
3 to
working
4
on
months.
changing that too.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting to find out how this all shakes out. And you've got some MLSs, that started out at 300 MLSs, only 48 of them had syndications on coming soons, but there's no uniform rules between those. So that's the reason I think MLSs are having lots of confusion. They're trying to figure out what they can and what they can't do. Mark. But I hope you guys see the same between 1000 Watt and Zillow Showcase and Zillow Preview. I mean, we're getting you opportunities, and I know we got to get Fred up here. We're giving you opportunities that we didn't have before that we hope is increasing our visibility in the marketplace, right? And I think by partnering with Zillow, quite honestly, to the consumer, does make us an organization, right? And that's the reason I'm telling them nationally and locally, why are we not talking about, we've got partnerships with Zillow Preview and Zillow, like the consumer sees that and says, oh, these guys are related, they have a relationship with Zillow? Well, that is going to draw people to you guys, I would hope, for God's sake. Yes.
What's the documentation that you need for the Zillow Preview and coming soon? Is it just the coming soon documentation?
Yeah, it's the same thing. The only difference is now you can just enter it into Zillow Showcase through the workspace, which will get you the directions on how to do that.
All right.
Cool.
Are you done?
We'll go over the other stuff another time. It's not going to be out here for another 6 months.
But use it. I mean, if you want to do it, tell us. So I guess to Mark's question, before MLS gets their rules changed, how are we going to know if we're doing that as a preview? Our admin will probably need to know that in some manner, right?
The agency was saying we're going to have to add our own preview.
The agents can add it in the platform and preview?
Correct.
So we need to get a cheat sheet for everybody.
Yeah, we have one. I'll give it to Erin so she can send it out, and then we'll put it on A and B agent tools.
Sit down.
Thank you.
We had one guy, I don't want any friends, Heather. When I'm done for the day, I need to rest. We had, Kelsey will admit this, right? We had all the division heads and that was the other thing. We had all the division heads, marketing, tech, sales, support, sitting in the room with all these brokers. And Mark, the sales guy, everyone else would just sit. Every time he would talk, and he would stand up before he's going to talk. I'm like, Mark, sit down. Fred, you want to come up here? You've got some classes you're going to be teaching, and talk about them for us, please.
I don't know if...
Do I need to introduce? Does everyone know who Fred is?
Yeah, they know who I am. I don't know if this is the highlight of the meeting or maybe the afterthought, having been here. But let me tell you something. Whether you take my classes or not, it really makes no difference to me. The only thing I can tell you is I've been doing this for 54 years. No, I'm not trying to do anything other than give you the fact that real estate works. We have so much confusion today on social media. One guy says apartment is the way to go. Another says you gotta do storage units. Somebody else says syndication. You know what the sad thing about this is?
Do you hear him in the back, guys? Okay,
That people listen to these people. You know why? Because in this room is the answer. Unfortunately, too many of you are not investing yourselves. Too many of you don't even know how to have a conversation with people that will hit them right between the eyes. How many of you are not interested in wealth creation, retirement income, financial freedom? Raise your hand. How many of you are not interested in increasing your volume, the number of transactions? Raise your hand. See, the biggest opportunity today is with the same people you work with every day, except we don't need to send them a postcard. You got to have face-to-face meetings with them and talk about what they're concerned about. The economy, the stock market, college education plan for their kids. It's not about investing in real estate. So whether you take classes or not, I'm doing 3 classes. You can get a designation if you take my classes. I can promise you it will change your life. If you're not investing, to me, that's travesty. You know why? Commission checks is going to stop someday. You know, I'm going to be 75 years old going on 25. Okay? I know what real estate could do, what it's done for me. And some of you have taken my classes. I know what it's done for you. It's up to you. I got a flyer there. You can go to dinner tonight, spend $100, or you can take that $100 and take my class. I guarantee you the return on your investment is going to be much greater than the dinner that you're going to forget about. So with
It depends
that,
on what happens after dinner.
they're probably going to regret it, and they're going to say, damn, I wish I would have gone to that class instead. That's what they're going to say. So listen, with that, like I said, take my classes or not, it's not going to change my life, but it will change yours. So with that, I hope to see you.
Fred, when's the first class? Can you give the dates
May
of the classes?
8th, May 8th, May 15th is how to run the number, analyze a property. We do a lousy job of helping clients make a good decision. What I see out there, it's a travesty that a real estate agent is allowing, not advising a client to buy a $600,000 duplex. You can't get enough rent to cover that payment. But people think, wow, I'm falling in love with this duplex. So do yourself a favor. Help your clients without spending any money. Your database is your gold mine. We're not even using it. Send them a postcard, that recipe they're going to send, invite them to the pumpkin pie party. That's all right. Help them create wealth, retirement income, financial freedom. And that's what I got to say. Thank you.
All right, let's give Fred a hand. Thank you, buddy. That's my phone. That's my phone. Thank you, Fred. Thank you. I do feel like, and one of the things we got to do as a company is a better job of getting better attendance to these, because the problem is we got so many productive and non-productive agents not attending these, and I feel like things are changing so much. We got to do a better job to figure out how to make this more worth your guys' time to show up here. I mean, do you feel like you've gained some information today on what we're doing that should hopefully help you have a better understanding moving forward? So if you guys don't want to do these, I'm happy to skip these, by the way. But I think it's important. So we're gonna figure out how we do a better job of getting people here, because I do think that a lot of people are missing out. And nothing makes me more crazy than sometime later today or tomorrow, someone will ask me about something we just got done covering in here, which seems to be a complete waste of time to me. But Sunshine Kids Golf Tournament, June 1st. Tanya or Ashley grab them. Or I don't know, is there even spots left for? There's 5 spots?
Ashley actually told me this morning there's only 3 teams available. So
Okay.
reach out to
So if you want a
Ashley
team,
or
get her
Tawny.
real quick.
Yeah.
And
But there
that's
are
June
sponsorships that are available.
June 1st again. Oh, it does say that, only 3 left. And then one
And
of you,
auction items.
and one of you, okay, go ahead. They need auction items?
Yes, Mimi just said that we also need donations for auction items. So if you're interested in that, reach out to Mimi.
Please.
Or Tawny or Ashley.
Kelsey or Aaron, which one of you is giving away the good guy for Jennifer?
I can give it away.
Go ahead, go.
Okay, so Jennifer Morgan couldn't be here today, but she would like to pass it on to someone who is very accessible and communicative every time they've had an issue within a transaction, which is pretty much every time there is a day in the transaction. Jennifer would like to give this to Farah Altwall. Altwall? I'm not sure. She's here, but
Tell her
we
congratulations.
will be sure to get it to her.
Say that again?
We will be sure to get it to her.
Yeah. Guys, thank you very much. Have a great day.